Welcome, Ramley. How are my Rams super fans doing today? The Rams just lost to the Buffalo Bills 31-10. Let's get right into it. Now, guys, I really don't even know where to begin. This game was just a beat down all the way through. The Rams tried to stay in it. In the first half, the Rams had 3 turnovers that kept the game really close. The game was 10-10 at halftime. But once the second half kicked off, it was all Buffalo from there on out. Going into this game, I had 2 concerns. One being Buffalo's secondary. I thought Matthew Stafford would have an amazing game going up against a secondary without Tre'Davious White playing and with a rookie cornerback playing as well. That just wasn't the case at all. I had, another big question mark was how was the Rams offensive line going to fare against the Buffalo Bills defensive line? And that question was answered pretty quickly. The Rams ended up giving up 7 sacks. It's damn near impossible to win a game in the NFL if you're going to give up 7 sacks. This offensive line no longer has Andrew Whitworth, no longer has Austin Corbett, and it showed. And I don't think this is cause for, huge concern just yet. Please pump your brakes just a little bit. This is the first game of the season, and these starters did not play not 1 snap at all throughout the entire preseason. And this is one of the best teams in the NFL. This is one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. So, while the Rams did not play well at all, I'm not ready to panic, guys. I'm not ready to, crown the Buffalo Bills the Super Bowl champions. I'm not ready to say the Rams have no shot going forward. It's just one game. But let's start off by talking about the offense. Matthew Stafford didn't look well, but I think it was mostly due to that offensive line. When Matthew Stafford has the time in the pocket, he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. If you rush him and you get pressure on him, he struggles. And today was a great example of that. He finished with 240 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions, and with a terrible 63 passer rating. The one thing that I will say about Matthew Stafford, though, is he has to start distributing the ball more. Cooper Kupp had a phenomenal game. Safe to say Cooper Kupp might repeat what he did last year if things like this continue. He had 13 catches on 15 targets for 128 yards and a touchdown. Now, my issue with Matthew Stafford here is that he continues to force feed Cooper Kupp the ball. Now, obviously, Cooper Kupp caught 13 out of 15 targets, so I guess force feed isn't the word I should use because he's obviously open on most of these plays. But Allen Robinson having 1 target the entire game until the last play of the game where he got target number 2 just shouldn't happen. You have to do a better job of spreading the ball around. Also, all season long, we're hearing about this, running back by committee. Cam Akers is going to have a 50-50 timeshare with Darrell Henderson Jr. But, that wasn't the case at all. Darrell Henderson finished with 13 carries. Cam Akers finished with only 3. The Rams clearly think Cam Akers, I'm not sure if they think he's a little banged up, if they just think he's not the guy. But Darrell Henderson was clearly our number 1 running back here. And like I said in the preview of this game, I didn't expect the Rams rushing attack to get off to a great start. This is one of the best running defenses in the league, and I expected the Rams running game to struggle a bit, and that's exactly what happened. We finished with 52 rushing yards on 2.9 per carry, but Darrell Henderson was our feature back. This is something that's gonna have to change. I think it will get better. Next week we have the Falcons. I don't expect the same thing to happen against that defense. But this was not good to see. And the fact that Darrell Henderson is obviously our number 1 running back here definitely is cause for concern for Cam Akers and his future in this Rams offense. This Rams offense was terrible, and it's very hard to kind of put it into words how bad this was. But this Buffalo defense pretty much beat the hell out of the Rams on all phases. They beat the hell out of the Rams in the running game. When Matthew Stafford dropped back to pass, constant pressure in his face. And, this was just a clinic. And then on the flip side, the Rams defense, couldn't really stop Buffalo's offense at all. And what was even harder to watch than the Rams offensive line struggles was their defense's inability to get off the field on third down. The Buffalo Bills punter did not work today. He took the day off. I don't even know who the hell the Buffalo Bills punter is. The Buffalo Bills on third down were 9 for 10. No matter what the Rams did on the first 2 downs, the Buffalo Bills were gonna move the chains on third downs. That's just the story of this game. This Rams defense did a phenomenal job in the first half of causing turnovers to keep this Rams team in the game. And like we all know, that's very hard to sustain for 4 quarters. So in the third quarter, when there was no more turnovers to be had by this defense, the Rams could still not get the Bills off the field on third down, and that caused for a blow up in points. They scored 21 in the second half. Josh Allen looked wonderful. You know, he finished with 297 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a passer rating of 112. One of those interceptions wasn't even his fault. It was a drop catch. He also added 56 yards on the ground and a touchdown there. This was just, it was hard to watch. You know, Stephon Diggs looked phenomenal, 8 catches for 122 yards. Diggs really made Jalen Ramsey look bad here. He made him look bad time and time again. And I know I said, you know, Jalen Ramsey has owned this matchup over the years. Well, that is not the case no longer. Stephon Diggs definitely got the better of him, and quiet as kept. That is 2 games back to back, dating back to the Super Bowl, where Jalen Ramsey has not played well at all. Not only did he not play well, he played terrible. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be him moving forward, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Being the best cornerback in the NFL is very rare to see a bad game like this, let alone 2 in a row. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on how Jalen Ramsey plays going forward. Gabriel Davis had a decent game, you know, 4 catches for 88 yards and a touchdown. In my preview video, I had a big question about how Brian Daboll leaving Buffalo would affect this offense. And safe to say, I was completely wrong, and it's not going to affect this offense whatsoever. And their offensive coordinator is going to do a phenomenal job moving forward because, you know, he destroyed this Rams defense today. And I don't see the offensive coordinator, their play caller, being a problem whatsoever. And that Josh Allen, it's hard not to picture him in the MVP race going forward. If he was to do this to the Rams defense, imagine when he plays, you know, the Miami Dolphins twice a year, and the New York Jets twice a year, and the New England Patriots twice a year. He's just gonna be, he just chalk him up right now for, you know, at least to be in the MVP conversation. He is just proven time and time again that he is everything he's hyped up to be. And as far as our front 7 goes, I thought Ernest Jones played a pretty decent game for what it's worth. He seemed to be all over the ball. I would love for somebody other than Aaron Donald to get some damn pressure on the quarterback. I don't know why we pay Leonard Floyd so much money when he cannot generate pressure ever. As an edge rusher, that is literally his only job, is to generate pressure on the quarterback and passing downs. And he never does. But yeah, he's played like a superstar. Aaron Donald looked good. He finished the game with a sack. He got some pressure, constantly double teamed. Pretty much the same Aaron Donald story as always, waiting for somebody to step up. Unfortunately, Von Miller is on the other roster now, so we have nobody else to do so. I do think going forward that might be an issue for us. We'll see. Somebody has to step up and generate more pressure on these quarterbacks. Now let's talk about my concerns. While I do think this Buffalo Bills defensive line is one of the best in the NFL, the Rams giving up 7 sacks is just unacceptable. I don't care who they have lined up there. 7 sacks is too much to give up to any defensive line. That is 100% a huge concern going forward. We restructured this offensive line in the offseason, and it might not have been for the better. Now I know Joe Noteboom is not going to be facing Von Miller every single week, but as a unit, as a whole, they have to do better. 7 sacks is just completely unacceptable no matter who you play against. And also, guys, like I mentioned earlier, I do have some concerns for Jalen Ramsey. Is his shoulder still bothering him? Is something going on here? He didn't really play good in the Super Bowl, and he played terrible tonight. Just downright terrible. I don't remember Jalen Ramsey ever playing this bad while in a Rams uniform. This is probably the worst game of his career. And this Rams defense as a whole just looked really bad. The third down efficiency was terrible for this defense. It was terrible, and that's something that has to be improved on. The Rams defense started out very slow last year. It was to the point where a lot of Rams fans were calling for Raheem Morris's job. And of course, you know, he turns it around and the rest was history. But please, let's not start that way again this season. Let this just be a one-off game. And guys, just because I have some concerns does not mean we should all freak out. This was just one game. We are still the Super Bowl champions. We are still one of the best teams in the NFL. The Buffalo Bills just got the better of us today. We will come back. We will get better. We do have the Atlanta Falcons and the Arizona Cardinals coming up next. So, you know, the task at hand will be a little easier. Don't panic, guys. And I don't know about you guys, but the Rams losing just feels a little bit better, a little bit easier when you just win a Super Bowl. Let me know in the comments. Let me know how you're taking the loss. Thank you guys for watching, and click right here for more Rams content.